Hi, this is Tad. I want to talk to you about a system for organizing color. This system allows you to teach yourself how to paint what you see. It has to do with conceptualizing color a little differently, so let's first look at the usual point of departure, the basic modern palette. This is made up of two triads of vivid primaries, one warm and one cool. This system is typically used with white and spontaneous mixing. This means that it is easier to find lyrical colors, the brighter and pastel primaries and secondaries, than it is to find the systematic neutral color of daylight. For natural color, we need a system that gives us easy access to color, not just in theory, but as it has been designed to work in life. Let's start out with a simple palette based on three transparent primaries. In the grammar of color, these are called hues. Hues are primaries or secondaries, often color as it comes out of the tube. We're using transparent primary hues because these are the most versatile. The first thing we do after putting out the hues is to make a chromatic neutral with them. Make sure to get it feeling really black. Then squeeze out another set of the primaries and add about 10% of the neutral to them. This gives us three different shades to use for shadows. Shadows are often conventionalized, but can have chromatic detail if they are made from transparent primaries. Then we make a gray by adding white to some of the neutral. In terms of value, the gray wants to be in the middle between black and white. Grays create the neutral structure of the painting. Simple grays are made with black and white. These have the advantage of being the most different from the midtones. Compound grays are made with chromatic opposites. In this case, burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. This can be made to feel neutral, as it's been set up here, or to change temperature, becoming warmer or cooler as the value scale goes up or down. Now for a third type of gray. When hues are mixed with a simple gray, these are called tones or chromatic grays. This type of gray is the most versatile. Sometimes this type of color is thought of as dull or muddy. But because all color is a function of its context, it's not a matter of the color's chroma, but its context. This is like playing notes on the fretboard of a violin or cello. The intervals need to be proportionally accurate for the key. The next color type is called the tint or highlight. These are hues mixed with white. Tints pre-mixed from three primaries help keep the potential chalkiness of white minimal as the painting is developed. This means more chromatic interest in the higher values. Another option often seen in older painting is using light primary values that are transparent, therefore naturally warmer, to contrast with those made with white. It's important to use a medium for this that doesn't darken. In this case, the colors have been cut with a mixture of natural chalk and oil. Again, a system that has been found in older painting. Now we've made all the color types. This is how they look when they're set up on the palette. The original three primaries in white have been turned into the complete system of 5 color types. Here are the color types labeled using the standard grammar of color. Here we have everything labeled and the color types given names that are a little more painting oriented. Try using this setup to paint something alla prima from life. A good system is to start with the midtones and shadows, the colors without white, then slowly move into the colors with white. Note how lively and dimensional these colors become as you build the structure of the painting. This is because you are finally painting with all the color types directly on the palette. While there are 5 colored types, they are derived from a triad. We have positive colors made from hues, negative colors made from black, white, or gray, and their offspring, the neutral colors made from hues mixed with either black, white, or gray. If we diagram the triads involved, it looks like this. You can see that while neutral color is more muted than positive or negative color, it is also more complex. This is why having a system for the gray structure is so helpful. Once you're comfortable working with the three-dimensional palette, you'll notice how easily it guides you to mapping color accurately to what you see. The structured grays make it much easier to find the atmospheric envelope and to make recession. But for some subjects, you may want a little more color. A good way to do this is to add a primary yellow. While we think of this as 4 colors, it is actually 2 triads. The Transmars yellow still provides the neutral with the red and blue, but there's now a bright triad to mix from as well. Another approach is to add a specific secondary color, in this case a bright green. This provides a palette type that is often used for alla prima landscape work outside. We can develop the palette further by using 2 different triads of primaries. In this case, a bright opaque triad is added to the original dark transparent triad. Note that while we call this a true triad palette, there are in fact 8 separate combinations of red, yellow, and blue within it. An approach to the 6-color palette often seen in older painting uses a triad of bright primaries over a triad of transparent earth colors. These palettes don't have as much chroma as the modern warm and cool primary palette, but capitalize on the optical as well as physical difference between the 2 triads, one being dark, low chroma and transparent, the other being light, higher chroma, and opaque. Because painting is about pigments in context more than pixels in theory, this approach remains versatile for creating the organized shifts in value and temperature that lead to the illusion of form, light, and space within the picture plane. Through exploring this system, we've been able to expand our concept of the grammar of color. In addition to its nominal identity, a given color has an optical state from transparent through translucent to opaque, a chroma from low to medium to high, and a type, positive, negative, or neutral. The inherent complexity of color as a language makes it important to remember this great piece of advice from Einstein. If we allow things to get complex, this tends to force simplicity in the way the complexity is handled. But if we keep things as simple as possible, this allows us to generate the organized or organic complexity that we find in the living systems of nature. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have fun exploring this on your own.